TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. A Barcelona news roundup coming up for you today, and in today's video we are going to be discussing the reaction from yesterday's elimination to Athletic Club, and in particular the positives that we can take from our defeat. We're also going to be talking about those Lionel Messi exit rumours that keep on coming in the media, and of course the very latest on newsman Dembele and his latest injury. It's all coming up for you. Let's now get right into it. Because obviously, guys, to be knocked out of any competition, just like we said there in the match review, it's always going to be disappointing. We're always going to be very angry, especially there, given the fact we conceded such a late goal. But at the end of the day, when we've all calmed down, we've all got through that initial reaction period, I think we can all accept there were signs of encouragement yesterday from the way we played in that second half, the way we did cut through the Athletic press. We did wear them down, we did have chances, and it could have easily been a very, very different game. And if we look here at the reaction from the Spanish media, and I've got to say it's quite mixed. Some papers, some reports there are in support of Quique Setien and his ideas. Some there can clearly see, and rightly so, that there were improvements, that there were things to be encouraged about. And Sport are one of those there with their cover cruel. They believe their Barcelona were very, very hard done by on the night. MD there are focusing on the fact we were knocked out. And some media outlets there do seem very, very intent on whatever the occasion. They seem very eager to bash Quique Setien, which I don't really understand, to be honest. That does seem strange to me. But look, that's not affected Setien himself. He, after the game yesterday, was in very good spirits. He could see the positives, no doubt about that. And he was actually very pleased with what he saw from his team in that second half. He said, we deserved to win tonight. We controlled most of the game. And tonight, really, we were just missing some luck. He said everything went well. We played according to the plan. We went out there with a clear idea. But the only thing that didn't go right was the result. He said, I'm satisfied overall, even though many people will just look at the result. It's all about the path, and we're going in the right direction. And you know what? He's absolutely right. And like I say, I think when the dust settles here, we can see that we are on the right path. And I would much rather actually there see some signs of change, of encouragement in a tough away game against a high press. We did break it down. We did pass through Athletic. And I would rather see those changes if it means there we get an unlucky loss, which it was yesterday. We lost, but we were very, very unlucky. I would rather do that and see those signs of improvement than actually win through maybe a lucky performance, a lucky goal, but then not see any signs of improvement for the future. So what I'm trying to say there is, I'm fine with losing as long as we can see that encouragement, that path to future success, rather than just winning and just doing it any old way and then papering over the cracks. That's what we've been doing now for far too long. Now we need to see some actual change that we can put into practice when it really, really matters. And I would feel right now more confident going into a big Champions League game, going into an away game, knowing there that we can do it. If we do finish our chances, we can break down presses, we can cope in that sort of environment. We showed that yesterday. It's all about now putting the finishing touches on it. And I think certainly yesterday, all of the players and even the Barcelona management were all in unity, very much supportive of the team, which is very, very interesting here, because even Bartomeu yesterday came out there on social media and he was very, very strong on the fact that, yeah, Athletic Club deserved congratulation, but we deserved to win. He was very, very vocal on that. And also, of course, there was players who came out, Sergio Busquets in the media as well, and Setien, like I've said, who were very clear that Barcelona should have won. And it's interesting to see there the Barca management and also the Barcelona social media accounts just getting behind the players there. That's a little shift that we may see certainly over the next few months, and that's a good thing there because everybody needs to be together. But I want to talk here as well about some interesting words from Jordi Alba last night, who spoke after yesterday's game, and in particular he spoke there in response to Eric Abidal's words that of course have been highly publicised over the course of the week. And Alba is kind of one of those players that we all know. He's not really backwards in coming forwards. He's not somebody there who's going to hold back on what he thinks. And he said the following words. He said, this club gets an thrown at it from the outside, so we shouldn't be throwing it ourselves. Very, very interesting there from Alba. He said Abidal was a player of this club. He's loved by the fans, and that's why he should know what it's like inside the dressing room and how we, the players, feel when we receive those kind of words. So Alba there essentially coming out in support of Messi and what he said there, protecting the players. He believes there that somebody from inside the club shouldn't really be placing that sort of blame solely on the players. And I do have to move on here to those Lionel Messi rumours. We've all heard them over the past few days, and I don't think it would be right right, really, for me not to address them. I certainly want to reassure you guys who believe that Messi could be leaving or may actually there be looking at the exit door, because certainly in the UK right now there are many different rumours there linking Messi with a move there to Manchester City, who for me are actually the only club who could afford Messi. I don't believe that any other club in the world could not only afford the transfer fee, but also most importantly there, the wages of Lionel Messi. Man City and also the Guardiola link is the only option, but for me, it's not happening, and it never will. Because right now, there's been a lot of lazy journalism with regard to this clause in Messi's current deal. Because that's one of the big things right now. A lot of media are saying Messi could leave this summer, and he could leave for free to many of the European giants in the game. And that's why so many clubs would be in with the chance of signing Messi, because there's a clause in his deal that says he can leave for free. But that is absolute rubbish. That's not the case at all, and that's what I mean there, lazy journalism. Because let me just explain. That clause in Messi's deal does exist. He can indeed leave for free if he chooses to, but that only applies if he's leaving outside of Europe. He can only there join a club for free if it's outside of Europe. Now, obviously Brexit's going on right now. I'm not going to get into the politics of things, but just because the UK are outside of Europe right now, technically, that is not in football terms. Messi, technically, could only leave to Argentina for free. That's the only reason why that clause is included, and it doesn't mean that he can leave there for Man City, for Bayern Munich, for PSG, for free. It simply cannot happen. And not only that, but Messi himself right now, his children are settled in Barcelona, his wife is settled, they've got an absolutely incredible house there. His whole life, not just football, but everything outside, is all in Barcelona, and he has no intention, not now, and not in the near future, of leaving Barcelona. And again, guys, don't just take my word for it on this one, because Pep Guardiola was bombarded with questions in his press conference earlier today at Manchester City. He was asked a number of questions there about Messi, whether he thought he could sign him, whether or not he thought that Messi would be leaving Barcelona, but Pep was defiant in his stance. He said Messi is a player from Barcelona, and he will stay there. He said, that's my wish. I want him to stay in Barcelona, and I'm not going to talk about players from other clubs. Pep was then pressed, though, by the journalists. They said, okay then, maybe not here, but do you think that Messi could join another European club? Do you think that he'll ever leave Barcelona to come to somewhere else in Europe? And Pep said, quite simply, I think he's going to finish his career there. And that's from the words of somebody who knows him extremely well. Messi is going nowhere. And just finally, guys, we do now have to talk about Ousmane Dembele and that possible emergency signing that could come into play if Dembele there is ruled out for a certain amount of time. Because the latest right now on Dembele is that on Tuesday, the 11th of February in Finland, he will undergo surgery there to treat the rupture to his tendon in his right hamstring. And once that operation there has been done, hopefully everything goes well, hopefully there everything goes to plan. Once the operation has been done and we know the extent of it, we'll then have the official confirmation from the club itself, which will basically tell us how long Ousmane Dembele will be out for and what the next steps will be in his recovery. And I want to talk here about that emergency signing. I did mention it there in previous videos, and some people were interested to know exactly how that would work. And it basically means that during a season, if you do get a serious, unforeseen injury outside of the transfer window, if the injury there is a big one, a serious one, we're talking here about 5 months plus. If Dembele there is ruled out for over 5 months with this injury for the rest of the season, we would then be able to bring in an emergency signing. Now, we couldn't just go out and sign anybody. That player there would have to come from Spain. We'd have to be looking there in La Liga for some talent in the forward area, and they would only be permitted to play in La Liga. They wouldn't be able to come in and play in the Champions League, and simply because the Champions League registration period is over, everybody now that's going to be playing in the knockout stages has been registered, has been sent off, so any new player wouldn't be able to play in the Champions League. But if we do make that emergency signing, they could be used there in the league, and we'll have to wait and see how long Dembele's out for before we go down that road. So that there, guys, is the latest news with regard to Barcelona. Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below on everything that we have discussed in today's video. What is your reaction, again, the day after from Barcelona's elimination to Athletic Club? What do you make there of those Messi exit rumours? And of course, let me know your thoughts on Dembele's injury latest, and also, if we can bring in an emergency signing, who would you like to see? I will see you soon, guys. Thanks as always for your support. But until next time, as always, Visca! El Barça!